Hey guys, before we get the podcast started today, I wanted to let you know that all Zoe Bell-Kanapaux ebooks will be on sale from July 31st to August 7th. We will be sharing details about the books later on in the podcast. And now, to the episode. What's up, y'all? It's Wednesday, y'all's favorite day of the week. Time for another episode of the long-winded podcast with your host, Cameron Kanapaux, and your other favorite host, Zipp Bell.
Zipp Bell.
Zipp Bell-Kanapaux.
You may know me
Hyphened.
You may know me as Zoe Bell-Kanapaux, international selling author. See how I fudged the best selling? International selling author.
Well, international selling author is completely true.
You've
been making a lot of sales overseas.
Yes, a lot of sales overseas. In the last episode, well, okay, there is another episode that can come out before this one, right? But in the episode where we talk about Cameron being Catholic and everything, I mentioned that I've been selling a lot overseas, but in order to be a bestseller or to be listed as a bestseller, you have to sell 5,000 copies of one book. Like, so The Axe Forgets the Tree Remembers, or Crash, or Behind Open Eyes. Then your book would be a bestseller if you sell 5,000 copies in 1 week. So that's a little out of my scope right now, a little out of my range, but
they'll get there.
Yeah.
They'll definitely get there.
Yeah.
Your books are definitely... There's going to be a re-release of the 2-year anniversary of whatever book. And
funny that Cameron said that because he didn't know that I'm working on the re-release of The Axe Forgets the Tree Remembers. This one, it's just better, more polished. The formatting's better. That's really what it is. The formatting is better. But the story is the same. It follows Angela Belfino, a woman who went through awful childhood trauma. And as an adult, she decides that she wants to reconcile with her mother who abused her. And when she does go to reconcile, she finds out that her mom has stage 4 cancer. So she's got to deal with all those hard feelings from before and the added grief. So, fresh into adulthood, dealing with that was very difficult for me, and you may relate to it. And it is included in that 99-cent deal that Cameron mentioned earlier, so be on the lookout for it on Amazon from July 31st to August 7th. But it will be available any other time for paperback, hardcover, or ebook, and the audiobook is currently being made, so
it'll sell out in pre-orders, you know?
maybe.
Something nice.
Maybe.
It'll definitely happen, though.
I hope so.
Then we'll stamp it onto all the books.
The international bestseller.
International bestseller. Doesn't matter if that book specifically, if it sold like 4,999 copies, we're slapping it on there anyways.
International best-selling author, Zoe Bell-Kanapaux. That's how it's gotta be. And interesting that you started out this podcast talking about it. Or maybe I brought it up. I don't know.
Don't matter.
Whatever.
It's your business.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, there's been a lot of drama surrounding that recently. So, as an author, when I make posts and I use hashtags like hashtag authors of Instagram or hashtag authors of TikTok, hashtag happy hot dog, you know, stuff like that, I get a lot of DMs. And I'm not saying that this is a unique experience, but I get a lot of DMs where people are like, yeah, DM me and I'll promote your book. And it's like, no, I'm not going to DM you because then you're going to say, pay me $400 and I'll promote your book. I'll make one post. First of all, you've got 500 followers. I'm not paying you $400 to promote my book. Second of all, no, why would I do that? Why would I pay you to make a singular post? Why would I pay $400? When you look at their likes versus their followers, all of their followers are other authors.
Oh.
And then or like those like business connectors or promoter pages.
Yeah.
And then they get 1 like or 2 likes per post.
Yeah, so it's like, well, do you have bots on your account that are subscribed, or is it actual viewers? And the whole point is getting your media out there and exposing yourself. But I mean, if they don't even have more people than you, what's the point?
Well, here's also my thing with that is like, who is it really getting out to? And also, if people know that that's a paid, like, advertisement page, and first of all, it's not listed as a paid advertisement, which, you know, is a big deal when things aren't listed as paid advertisements or paid partnerships or
Yeah, people don't like that.
you. No, but if people know that this is a pay per review, like, and first of all, they're not even reviewing it; they're just posting a picture of it. There's
like,
no
yeah,
review.
it's good.
There's no review. It doesn't even have, like, most of the time, like...
It's not personalized or anything.
No.
It's like, did you even bother to read the back of the book?
No, they don't. So, this is not about legitimate book reviewers, by the way. This is about...
Not bashing them.
No. Because legitimate book reviewers, you can always tell when you look at their page. Because
Yeah.
they'll say, this book wasn't for me, but it was written well, or what have you.
Yeah, compliment sandwiches on everything.
They'll take the time to make, like, an aesthetic ass, like, this is the beautifulest Instagram you're ever gonna see.
Yeah,
you know?
all the covers, like, match. And
Yeah.
it's all cohesive.
They take time. You can tell they actually read the book, first of all. Second of all, you can tell what their niche is, like what they like to read. You can tell if they like fantasy. You can tell if they like romance. You can tell if they like sci-fi or thrillers. These pages that I'm specifically talking about, it's like every book under the sun. Like, the dictionary might be the last post before the next book. Like, it's not legitimate people, you know? It's people that are just trying to make as much money as possible.
Yeah, so you had someone reach out to you.
I have, every single day, I have multiple people reach out to me. That, first of all, like, when someone's reviewing your book, because I've had people review my book before, they always follow me, they always send me a message, like, I loved your book was amazing, what have you, and I always respond, like, as nice as possible, right?
Yeah.
Because, obviously, you took the time to read my book, you liked it, which is another great thing, I'm very glad that you liked it.
Yeah, you took some time out of your day to come and tell you, which they don't have to.
Yeah. And so... these accounts, they never follow you, right?
Yeah, the like, sus ones.
Always register as spam. They always register as spam.
Oh, like as a...
Yeah.
When they're reaching out to you?
Yeah, the message is like, Marcus spam? Is this safe? And every time there's like a legitimate person, like just a regular
Yeah, it just goes through as a regular message.
Yeah, it goes to my, like, general.
It's probably because they don't even DM that many people, and the other people probably DM, like, everybody under the sun
800 times a day.
Yeah.
And it's like, you'll see like legitimate people who make reviews, like review accounts. You'll see their face on their accounts, and you know, you'll see like their bookshelf that they've curated, or their favorite bookmarks, or some of their favorite like, reading things. They'll repost.
It's a lot more personalized.
Yeah, they'll repost like cute little infographics that they find about reading or what have you. Like,
yeah, it's just not just reviews. It's also like, hey, this is what I did today, and I went and shopped for books here, and I went and check out this little cutesy store, this boutique that had some really cool books, you know, and I get that. So you had, sorry, I'm pushing the story along. So you had somebody reach out to you that said, hey, we can promote your book.
Yeah, so I get a lot of messages that are like those fake accounts. Maybe I shouldn't say fake accounts, but they're specifically for gaining money, right? Those sort of accounts. And I get a lot of messages where it's like people who are like, I'll make you so many marketing videos for $5,000, I'll make you 5 videos. And it's like, first of all, that's insane, because when I go to your profile, there's not a single video
Yeah.
There's not. We're in our bed right now.
Yeah, we're chilling with our puppies. We're trying a new setup so that
Yeah.
maybe they won't fight so much. I know y'all don't hear it, but it definitely is there.
Well, they're not fighting. They're just like.
They're roughhousing. They're chihuahuas.
Yeah.
They like playing with each other. They're gonna get their energy out.
Yeah.
And at the most inconvenient times possible.
Exactly.
But that's just part of a chihuahua, and
Yeah.
that's why we love them.
We love chihuahuas.
Yeah.
So.
They're like us.
We can also be closer this way. And
Yeah.
I like that. So anyway, I get these messages all the time where it's like, first of all, you have no videos on your profile, and you're like, I can send you my whole portfolio. Why is if you're reaching out to people via social media,
Why isn't your portfolio
Why?
on your social media?
you would never go to a tattoo artist who doesn't have any pictures of tattoos that they've done
Yeah.
online.
Especially if, like, the last picture they uploaded was from months ago and they're posting, like, once a month, once a week, It's
Yeah.
like you want to go to the artist that's posting several times a day, like, hey, check this out, check this out, check this
Yeah.
out. It's because they're putting out masterpieces every time they work instead of just, oh, let me go through my gallery and try and find
Yeah.
something that's like, this looks alright.
So, like, I've never been ashamed of my work or, like, wanted to hide it from the world. And that's what it reads to me. When you can't find someone's work who is, like, a visual artist or something. And this isn't for, like, because I have a lot of friends who are actors. Some friends post various videos of them acting or whatever. Other friends don't do that, just because it's a lot more complicated depending on what play or whatever you're doing. You're worried about copyright, music, blah blah blah, whatever. But they still, every single one of them, posts a picture of them in a uniform in their character outfits. They post, like Micah all the time posts whatever character
Yeah.
she's in. Like,
Bailey is always posting pictures of
Yeah.
whatever movie set he's on or whatever
Yeah.
performance he's doing. And I like seeing these, like, quote-unquote artists where it's like, I'm saying quote-unquote artists because they are performing arts.
yeah.
But I don't want y'all to be like, oh, it's Michelangelo. No, they're not
They're not
painting.
painters.
Yeah, but it's a performing art.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like seeing my friends that are artists and seeing all the stuff that they're coming out with, new stuff, new
Yeah.
whatever.
It's great to see. And even if I don't talk to them for a long time, because I get, like, in that sort of... You know me. I don't really talk to people all the time.
I mean, we're separated from everyone else, so it's kind of like we're not up in everyone's business on purpose.
Yeah.
We moved away to get away from everyone's business.
Well, everyone, like, in your family and in that small town. But...
Yeah, well, everyone in that small town's on top of each other and knows what
And none of the
if
people
so-and-so
that we've
farted
mentioned...
at this time, or they sneezed over here, and
Yeah.
too much.
And none of the people that we've mentioned... And none
Live
of the,
there anymore.
Yeah, and none of the people that we've mentioned live there anymore. So it's not like we were like, oh yeah, they're great. Actually, we hate them.
We're not praising them and then bashing them.
No.
These are people that have moved on, and you gotta get out of that town.
Yeah.
There's few people. There's like Brockhampton that came out from Corpus, but only until after he got out of Corpus.
Yeah.
You gotta leave.
There's not a ton of opportunities.
Mexican OT came from Bay City, which is down the street from Corpus.
Really?
Yeah, and then his co-producer, I think, or co-star, I don't know what he is, but
You like his music, you
Yeah.
just don't know much about him.
Yeah, he came from Corpus too. So they got out of there and they got big.
There's
You got to
not-
get out of the little towns in Texas.
No,
That's
you
where you
can't
go
stay.
to die.
Yeah.
That's where your career is going to go to die if you're not moving around and getting your word out there.
Yeah.
You got to project in modern days now.
Yeah.
There's
and-
no way you can stay somewhere.
The way that Texas is set up, really, we'll get back to the conversation
Yeah.
about people messaging me, but this kind of ties into it. The way that Texas is set up now, you really have to be, like, in San Antonio, Austin, or Dallas to, like, make it really big.
Or Houston with a pool floaty.
Houston with a pool floaty.
Yeah, you need a pool floaty in Houston because they're always flooding.
Dude.
But that's where you get like Mexican SPS and like your
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, your other rap styles. You get a lot of rap. There's specifically Texas
Houston.
rap.
Yeah, there's Texas rap.
Texas rap comes out of Houston and Dallas and whatnot, and it's completely different from everyone else's. From East Coast, West Coast, it's kind of its own thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I love Megan Thee Stallion. I am always so, like, sad when I see people, like, dogging on her.
Bashing her, it's like, dog. She did so much work. Not only was she doing touring, but also going to school.
Yeah.
How many people can do that?
Also, she lost her mom and her grandma within, like, a month of each other.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. You know, I went through that same fucking shit. Like, I went through that same fucking shit. So,
no, I was there. And yeah.
And so, like, in Texas, you're not going to get big in Ingleside, which is kind of close to Corpus. You're not going to get big in, like, Pflugerville. You know what I mean?
It's like, you got to get out there so that other people can see you.
You have to leave. And especially we'll talk about Corpus Christi, because that's where we've lived. So many people would be like, oh, you're doing that? That's so cool. And then turn to their friend and be like, what a fucking loser. Yeah, and you still hear them talking. You still hear them say, what a fucking loser.
It's like, you didn't even move. All you did was move your head.
Yeah.
I can still hear you.
It is, I've lived all over the U.S., right? And it is the most negative fucking area I have ever been in my entire life.
It's so bad that when we moved up here, I'm like, everyone is too nice. I felt like I'm not comparing myself to a New Yorker, but I felt like a New Yorker that moved literally anywhere else where it's like, oh my god, you're talking to me? I've also seen that in a lot of comments, in like comment sections where I think Denmark's like that, where people don't talk to you at all. And it's weird for people to like come up and be like, hey, and just start a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know that it's, some countries it's presumptuous to do that. Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you talking to me?
Yeah, why are you coming up to me? Like,
do you think I'm a panhandler? Do you need help? Like, what's going on? There's, like, some countries where that's, like,
it's a different social...
Yeah, like, you don't talk to other people.
Other social cues.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a big mark on your glasses.
I see that. It's coffee creamer.
Oh,
it's coffee creamer that splashed up.
So, back to what I was saying anyway. I finally got out of that small-ass town. I moved there for Cameron. I should have just told you. Get your ass...
Dude.
Get up here.
I should have stayed up here.
Yeah.
When I came and got you the first time.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would have just been a whole lot better, but oh well.
Yeah. So... Anyway,
we live and learn.
Yeah.
We live and learn. We learned.
I've been getting a lot of messages, like, more than usual. I get about, like, 10 messages every day, and, like, one person is, like, genuine, and then the rest are, like, promote, and it's like, dude, leave me the fuck alone, because first of all, you don't follow me, and I'm not gonna respond, like, if you don't follow me, like, I'm not responding, because a lot of people that find my page also are people that were friends with my mom, and they think of her as this wonderful, magnificent angel. And they're like, wow, your career is going so far. Your mom would have been so proud of you. And let's fucking cut that shit out right now. Let's cut that shit out. Let's
not only that, but do they go, hey, and also can I get some money?
Some of them do. Some of them do ask me for money. But let's just lay it out. My mom would not have been proud of me, no matter what I did. My mom hated my guts. And she told me on every opportunity that she could. While telling everybody else, look, my daughter, she's so perfect. Look, she does this. Look, she does that. Look, blah, 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 blah. I'm so proud of her. She wasn't ever proud of me. Because that was just a front. That was a front, and she started doing that after she lost custody of her youngest son.
That and for CPS.
Yeah, for CPS
So she could
as well.
keep her job
Can
at
you speak up?
CPS. Yeah, sorry.
So, this whole thing of like, I'm gonna abuse the fuck out of you in our house, and then the second we walk out the door, you need to be smiling, you need to be nice. And there were times where I would be in the CPS office, and they'd be like, I recognize you. You look a lot like your mom. And I would cringe because it's like, I don't want to fucking look like her.
Yeah, you're
Why-
sending like SOS messages with
Why the
tapping
hell
your
would
foot.
Yeah, why the hell would I want to look at her? Look like her? And they would be like, well, we've heard so much about you. You're so awesome.
And you're like, they're all lies.
Well-
Whatever she told you, lies.
Well, they would be like, oh, you're so awesome. We know that you're working so hard on blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I was. But then she would lock the door for office and fucking smack me across the face.
Mm-mm.
So, because I wasn't like nice enough to her coworkers.
Being quiet and just taking compliments, or
Yeah, like
you're like, why didn't you compliment them?
Yeah,
It's like, I don't even know them. They
Yeah.
came up to me.
and it's like, what the fuck, dude? And so I get these messages all the time, which have been really triggering because recently I've been getting a lot more of them. And it's like people who are like, your mom was such an amazing person, and people don't want me to talk about this, right? Because I've tried to talk to some people about it, and they're like, like, she's dead, she can't really defend herself. I was a child, how the fuck was I supposed to defend myself?
Yeah.
I can talk about the woman who abused me for all of my life,
Yeah.
right? But it ruins people's image of her.
Fuck it.
It ruins people's image of her. And apparently it ruins people's image of me because apparently I'm not, like, you shouldn't do that for dead people. Dead people shouldn't have to shouldn't have to answer for their own actions.
But also, they're reaching out to you nearly a year and a half. Well, not even nearly. A year and a half later.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, if you really cared, you'd have reached out half a year ago,
Yeah.
not now.
Mm-hmm.
And just for you to say your own piece, and then when you give them your actual mind,
I don't tell
they
anybody
reject
anything.
it.
I don't tell
No.
anybody anything. I don't respond to those messages.
Yeah,
Because I just delete them.
Fair enough.
You know how I've been, I just delete it.
Yeah.
I can't, if I look at it too long, it's gonna set me down a spiral, so I just delete it.
It's fair enough.
Right?
I mean, it's not worth going down a spiral on.
And I don't know these people. These people
Yeah.
were my mom's friends 20 fucking years ago when she was in high school.
Yeah, and it's
And
like, I don't know you, sorry.
I don't know you, and you don't know my mom. And, all of my mom's coworkers reached out to me, like, in a quick succession of, like, your mom was so proud of you, your mom loved you so much. Bullshit. I know it's bullshit. She was mean to me every fucking day. The only time she was, like, really nice to me was when she knew that she was dying of cancer. And that I'm going to end up having to take care of her.
Yeah.
Me being her caregiver. She knew that I would end up having to be her caregiver because her husband wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, right before we were gonna move
Yeah.
with her.
She knew that I was going to have to take care of her. So, when the shoe's on the other foot, when, you have to be taken care of by somebody, you're going to be pretty nice to them.
Yeah,
right?
all of a sudden.
You're going to be pretty nice to them. And it came out of nowhere. And then she cheated on her husband, and then he killed her. Let's reverse a little bit.
Okay.
So
That's what I've heard.
Yes, so that's true. But they got married like a month into dating, right?
Yeah.
So they were dating they got married in August. So, like, they started dating in, like, late June or July, and then they got married immediately. 15 days before they got married, they got each other's names tattooed. So, it's, like, already a fuck-ass situation. She found out that he was cheating on her with the first woman. And she still took him back, right? Because she was like, we just got married, like, I can't be dealing with this. And then...
Annulment.
Well, she didn't want to be proven wrong. Because multiple people told her, this is a stupid idea, you don't know this guy, like...
Yeah.
You said you wanted to get married to him, and then you told him, you need to propose to me if we're gonna get married.
Yeah, her ego's too big to admit that she was wrong.
So, he cheats on her again. Here's the thing. My mom cheated on him multiple times that he didn't know of, right? And so they, like, for, like, 4 years, they stopped doing that shit, right? They stopped, they moved away, and they were okay. They were, like...
What helps is a global pandemic.
Yes.
Where everyone's locked up,
yes.
so...
So, like, they didn't do anything, like, they weren't, like, before that.
Yeah, no, but,
before
like...
that, they weren't doing anything. They weren't cheating on each other or what have you. And it got to be a point where I set them both down, and I was like, I can't be dealing with this. I was, like, 16 or 17. I was 17, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat them both down, and I was like, you need to stop. I pointed at them each. You need to stop, and you need to stop. And they were like, stop what? You don't get to tell me what to do. And I was like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You need to knock it the fuck off, because I'm tired of it. Because they would both come to me and be like, is your mom cheating on me? Is Aaron cheating on me? Like, I'm not fucking dealing with that, dude.
Yeah, it's like, both y'all are coming up to me, the answer is yes for both y'all. And even if you did tell them yes, you'd have gotten in trouble.
Yes.
And then, not only would you have been the one to receive the negativity of all the situation, nothing would have changed. Nothing would have changed. They'd have just acknowledged the fact that each other were cheating on each other, and that'd have been it.
Yeah.
And it still would have continued, so...
And another
damned
thing,
if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, another thing that I would like to talk about is that a lot of their problems started because neither of them should have been getting married at that time. Aaron was not ready to get married. And he spoke that, like, vocally. He was like, I'm not ready to get married.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's fine to not be ready. Right? My mom had just gotten a divorce finalized. Like, she was dating him when she filed for divorce from her previous husband.
Yeah.
So, as soon as the divorce was, like, finalized, they moved to start getting married. My brother lived in and out of our house. He was going back and forth between his dad and our house, right? And he had 2 kids of his own. And my mom treated those 2 kids, her stepkids, like shit. Like shit. All she would do was talk shit about them all the time. All the fucking time. And it was like, first of all, it's the same way that she talked about me. And eventually she reconciled with his son, but she refused to with his daughter. And it's because she hated girls. You know that's why.
Yeah.
You know that's why. Like, there was nothing wrong with her. Like, let's just lay it out. There was nothing wrong with those 2 kids. They had a rocky relationship with my mom because they were teenagers, and your dad's getting remarried. I had a rocky relationship with Aaron because I was a teenager and my mom was getting remarried.
Yeah.
Right? But that's no excuse for you as an adult to be treating these teenagers like shit.
It's like, be the bigger person.
Because she knew what it was like for her dad to be getting divorced when she was a teenager.
Yeah.
So she knew what it was like. And, you know, like, what the fuck? Like, she went through her dad going on dates and what have you as a teenager. So you knew what it felt like, and you still did your best to make sure that these kids felt like the worst energy from you. What a shitbag. Okay? And that's why it, like, pisses me off so much, because I know so many people who have had awful experiences with my mom, and they've spoken about it, and that's their own, like, I won't get into specifics because that's their own thing to be talking about and to be saying. That's their own story. But I can say she treated them like shit. You know, I'm not getting into she did blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So, and then that's just an observation. They may not have felt that way, but I mean everybody else saw it that way. And it's not funny, but that's just like the reality of it. Is that like everybody saw how awful she was treating them. And then it started, I know,
You saw him trying to lick the condensation off your bottle that has no condensation?
No condensation at all.
Billy loves licking condensation off a cup, sorry.
No, so when I get those messages from people that I don't know, that, like, they're like, your mom may have talked about me, I'm not gonna sit here and try to conjure these memories.
Right.
And reminisce about the times that you and my mom were in high school.
So who the fuck
But
are you?
It's been really triggering recently for me to get these messages. I don't know why. I don't know why it's, like, now more than ever I'm feeling so, like, angry about it. But it's like, dude, shut the fuck up and leave me alone.
Yeah.
Because I've asked my brothers, like, have you been getting messages? Well, I haven't asked my youngest brother, because he shouldn't be getting messages like that. Like, let's just fucking put that out there.
So he's a minor, so
Yeah.
why are you
Nobody should
texting a minor?
Not even that. Not even, like, just that. But it's like, dude, you know that my mom lost custody of him?
Yeah.
Why are you going to go out of your way
Reach
to be
out to him.
hurtful? Because there's no other way to see that action than to be hurtful. Like,
I mean...
reaching out to me is one thing. Reaching out to a young kid who's like, oh, I didn't really know my mom.
I mean,
and being like, she was a great person.
I don't think that would be meant to be hurtful. It would be coming from a genuine place, but, like...
It's hurt.
That's the way that you're perceiving it as.
You're saying I'm biased.
Yeah, that it would be hurtful for him to be receiving that message when... I know it's stupid, but it's like...
Oh.
You smacked me with the camera.
Sorry, cry about it.
Damn, you could have just told me to stop. No, but, it would be... It would be coming from the person's, like, good intention of their heart, but it also comes across as, like, you're just a fucking idiot.
I don't see how, in any way, like, I've reached out to some people
Well,
before.
I don't think... What I'm saying is I don't think that they're reaching out just for pure spite, like, oh, you're one of our kids.
No, I don't think that they're doing it for spite. I'm just saying, to me, there's no way to view doing that action, knowing what you know about my mom, which some things have come out, and other things were coming out.
But also, liar. She's a liar, so
But
also she would be like, yeah, I got all 3 of my kids.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that how much truth did she tell? Would she have said, oh, I lost custody to my child? With her ego, ain't no fucking way that would have happened. Where she would say, yeah, I did this. Especially with a coworker. You know how...
it's not just her coworkers, it's her alumni from high school, and...
But what I'm saying is that, like, she's always made her image image for everybody else, and then at home she has her stuff.
Yeah.
So, what would stop her from just saying that she has 3 kids?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, is that she likes to create a perfect picture for everybody else, so either it was she had 3 kids, or she only had 2.
I think she told people for the longest time, like, after we moved, and she was, like, meeting new people, that she didn't have to, like, explain, where's this 3rd kid? I think that she was telling people that she just had 2 kids.
Yeah.
And that, I know I heard it before, and I asked her about it, and she was like, well, I mean, I just have my 2 kids with me.
Yeah.
But that, to me, it was always fishy.
Yeah.
It was always fishy. Because I remember her saying it, and then I was like, no, that's not true. Like, and then I know for a while she stopped saying it, because I would call her out on it every time I heard it. Well, here's the thing. I knew I was going to get my ass beat anyway. So, might as well go down for something worthwhile. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, I'd like to stop talking about this now.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. I've been getting a lot of messages, though, from, like, bookstores. Like, I have some of my books in various bookstores, and if my books are in a bookstore, like, you can go to the bookstore, the brick and mortar, or whatever,
It's because I like the owners and we have an amazing relationship, right? There are many bookstores that are wilding out right now with this, hey, we love to feature indie authors. If you pay us $400 a month, we'll feature your book in our stores.
And we take a cut of your
And
books.
a cut of the sales.
And a cut of the sales on top of the $400 for the spot. Which makes sense for let's say, Walmart or Target or whoever. That's what normal, like, other companies do. Coca-Cola pays for their aisle. Pepsi pays for their aisle. Cheez-Its pays for their end cap. So that's a featured product. These are multi-billion-dollar companies that does this. You cannot do that with indie authors.
No.
Indie authors do not have the funds to back this up, to be featured on the center table of your bookstore.
There are also online-based bookstores doing that.
I was also about to say, and an online bookstore, what feature do you get? Because anytime I've ever gone to a homepage that has like let's just say they have a scrolling feature bar up at the top, I don't pay attention to that. I'm trying to look for something else that I'm specifically looking for.
Yeah.
Or the top searches or the top results for this bookstore. Yeah, I'll take a look, but I'm not going there for that.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you.
So it's like, and especially on an online retailer, having to pay for that doesn't make any sense when you're on the biggest bookseller on the internet.
Yeah.
Amazon with Jeff Bezos.
Well, it's not like I'm like a big fan of
Right.
Amazon. You make it out like I'm number one fan, like South Park with I'm crossing picket lines or something.
Right.
You know, but this has happened multiple times, right? So I asked them, well, what is included in this $400 monthly fee? And, you know, some bookstores have, like, a newsletter that comes out. Some bookstores have, like, social media that they, like, keep up with and, you know, what have you. Nothing with these specific bookstores that reached out to me. Nothing. It comes with nothing. So, what do you mean it's a featured spot, but it comes with nothing? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
So y'all don't have a newsletter or an email that y'all send knowingly every 2 hours or something?
Yeah, well,
None of that?
I'd even take 2 weeks, you know?
Right.
But that's insane to me, right? Like, isn't that fucking crazy? Because, first of all, you have to take money out to send them the copies of your book, right? You don't automatically get that money. In these cases where there's, like, you need to pay us $400 a month, they're not going to be like, oh, yeah, we'll buy however many copies of your book.
Yeah, we'll buy 20 copies of your book. No. They're like, well, we want it at the discounted rate, which, normal. When you're selling to a retail store, you gotta sell it for a little cheaper. That way, everyone makes a cut.
Yeah. But they want me to shell out the fucking money for sending them however many copies of my books that they want. And then I only get paid if they sell the book.
And what's the guarantee that they're gonna actually push your book?
Exactly.
When you know you're gonna push your own book.
Exactly.
/ these other stores that you're working with, they'll recommend your book because
Yes, they do.
They enjoy your books. They personally have read it.
Yeah.
And that's why they reached out and they were like, hey, we want your products in our store. Because they already found out that, hey, we like this author.
Yeah.
We're going to work with her.
Yeah. And it's like, I always send, like, extra goodies when I send my books to the bookstores.
Because
like,
you're appreciative.
Yeah, I'll send bookmarks because I make bookmarks. Sometimes I send, like, pins as well.
Stickers.
I send, all of the copies that I send are, they have my signature in them. And thank you so much for supporting me. I hope that you really enjoy this book, ZBK.
Yeah, so if y'all see a live copy of her book out in the wild, it's more than likely signed.
Also, I sign...
Author copies.
I only use purple, pink, or blue to sign.
Yes.
So if it's signed in something else, you caught me on a rare fucking day.
Yeah.
And
So that's a rare pen color.
that's like, God damn it, I can't find a pen.
Yeah.
So, that's always funny. But, like, I don't know, that's just outrageous to me.
There's some green ones floating out there.
There are some green ones floating out there because I couldn't find any other color pen. But it's just outrageous to me. Like, I love working with bookstores, and I've only really had, like, a great experience with brick and mortar bookstores and also pop-up bookstores. I've only ever had, like, a great experience with them. And they really set me up. I say this all the time. Like, they really set me up to think that it's, like, great experiences all around. No, I'm really thankful for that.
It's been too much of pleasure working with the other people.
Yeah, and so it's like...
Why do y'all suck? The others.
Yeah, so it's like, what the hell, dude? Like, is this normal? And then I like, do a little bit of research, and, I've been on my quest to email each bookstore in the United States. Not very far into it, but there's a lot of bookstores in the United States. At least, I'm okay. Let me fix that statement. Let me retract part of it. Every cool bookstore in the United States. Like, I go through, like, their, I was about to say discography. I go through their catalog, I see what they've got. I want to make sure that when I reach out to them, it's not, like, a lost, like, cause or, like, lost time that I could have been reaching out to somewhere else where my books would fit in.
Yeah.
And I don't reach out to say, like, if I've stumbled across, like, a few bookstores that I really love, right? And I know that, like, Crash won't fit in everywhere, right? Because it is a thriller, sci-fi, slow burn romance, right?
Yeah.
But where Crash will fit perfectly every single time? Your bookshelf. That's right. Crash follows the 4 survivors of a plane crash who are stranded on an island after their plane crashes. The island gives them many challenges to try to survive, just to make it through the first night, the second night, and the third night. And all of these people have a unique set of skills that they have to figure out how to use to work together to make it off the island. I love this book. It's the first in a series. The second book in the series, double feature, comes out in summer 2025. Sorry, I had to go look real quick. Comes out in summer 2025, and you will not regret reading this book. This book is so amazing. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I had such an amazing time writing it. I worked with an amazing narrator, Lori Oliveras, who narrated the audiobook, and there may be some exclusive content for Crash coming to my YouTube channel soon. So look out for it. You'll love it. I love it. Everything is great.
It's a little bit of a lot, but...
Yeah. So, it's not gonna fit in everywhere. It's not gonna be like one of those romance, like, it's not gonna fit perfectly in a strictly romance novel store.
Yeah, there are stores that's all they cater in is XYZ.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna pitch them my books that don't have that, you know?
Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense.
It's a waste of their time, and it may put a sour taste in their mouth.
Yeah, financially, it's like,
well, it
I
may
don't
put
want to work with this author.
Yeah, it may put a sour taste in their mouth because, first of all, that means I didn't look through their catalog. I didn't look at their mission statement. I didn't look at their website. I didn't look at anything.
I just sent a message.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, first of all, I never, like, try to be rude. I always ask, hey, I found your bookstore and it is so lovely, and I was wondering if you have author intake forms or author interest forms or anything like that I could fill out.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying, like that one email I showed you, you need to put my book in your store. Google me. Like,
Google me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Like, there was an email floating around on Threads where somebody, bookstore owner, had
You're good.
I know. They had blocked out all of the, like, identifying information. And they posted the email. And first of all, like, it's not a professional email at all. It's like, hello, you need to buy my book and stock it in your bookstore. You may not know who I am, but you can Google me. Like,
damn.
There's no synopsis of the book. I always try to include, like, a...
Yeah, like, what you're pitching to the...
Yeah. If I, like... Some of them are, like, just email us. Like, if you see on the website, just email us. For, like, author intake. I will send them an email where it's like, hey, I'm an indie author. My name is Bell-Kanapaux. I came across your bookstore on TikTok or on Instagram or what have you, and you have, like, the most lovely bookstore. I love it. I love your vibe. I love your aesthetic. Whatever, right? And then I go on my little spiel about my books, and I attach covers. I attach pictures of the covers and various reviews that I've gotten. I also include, right?
Maybe we should be sending as like, hi, I'm so and so's publicist. That way, because I mean, technically, you are your own publicist.
Yeah, but
and be like, hi, I'm Silly Bell-Kanapaux's publicist, and I was hoping to get your book into the store.
I mean, I really don't know. I'd have to do like a master class.
Start like testing out different ways to email.
Yeah, I guess so.
But no, and it definitely shows, like, based off of your email submission to the bookstore on how your book's gonna read.
Yeah, it definitely does.
And if your book's gonna be even worth to read the synopsis, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if you're getting you need to buy my book. Yeah. You can Google me. What the hell is your book about?
Yeah.
I'm like, how does that read? It's a do-it-yourself book, and it's 150 pages. They're all blank. You write it yourself.
Okay, wish it, want it, do it.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Not by Brian Griffin.
The Brian Griffin, wish it, want it, do it.
Yes,
he said,
dude.
It's 20 pages, and the rest is all fill it. Fill it yourself.
You're supposed to write your goals down.
Yeah. It's like, what? You said you're selling Mad Libs.
I forgot to mention. So, one of the bookstores, they reached out to me, and then I was like, okay, well, this is... I responded very nicely. I don't remember off the top of my head what exactly I said. I was like, well, this is really out of my budget, but maybe we can reconvene later on, down the line. I didn't want to, like, burn any bridges or whatever. This other bookstore, though, they sent me over their contract without even, like, really getting into what they wanted from me, right? So they were like, hey, I've seen you online. Your online presence is great. Period. Your online presence is great. Period. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I was like, that's so amazing to hear. And then they were like, your books are great too. We've read them. They didn't. Spoiler alert, they didn't read them at all. And they were like, what are they about? The next sentence was, your books are great. What are they about? Like,
wait a minute. Did you read your last statement?
And then they said another message before I could even, like, respond to them. Because if people go, what are your books about? I send them just, like, a copy-paste response of, like, hey, thank you so much for reaching out. These are what my books are about.
Yeah.
Right. Like any store would do. You know, any store, if you reach out to them on Instagram, like, what does your store sell? Like, oh, we make soaps and blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah, you know what you're gonna pitch, so
yeah.
It's not like you have to reword it every single time.
No, and so, I was about to send that, because I have it in my notes app. They sent me, we want to carry your book in our bookstore. I was like, okay, which one were you interested in? All of them. And then they sent me this Google Doc form, or this Google Forms, and it was this long-ass, like, contract. And it was like, we retain the rights to sell your book. You're selling us the rights to your book. Like, all this fucking shit. And I was like, you're fucking insane. If you think that I'm gonna sign over the rights to my book, fuck you.
To selling my books.
You have 5,000 followers across all platforms. And you really think that I'm gonna, like, sell you the rights? You're not a Big Five publisher.
Yeah.
You're not even, like, I Googled them and they don't even have a website. Right? And you think I'm gonna, like, sign this fucking Google form? Because they kept hitting me up. They were like, hey, did you have a chance to go over that contract? I was like, I did, and I'm not at all interested in this.
So I'm not signing that.
Yeah, and then they messaged me again, like, a few days later, and they were like, hey, when can we expect that contract?
So when are you gonna change that contract?
I literally said, you will never receive that contract from me. This is not something that I am interested in. Thank you for the message. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I'm pissed off because they were blowing up my phone. They were sending, like, each sentence in a separate fucking message.
Ugh.
Right?
I
So
hate that.
they blew up my fucking phone, right? And you know how much I fucking hate that shit.
Yeah.
You know how much I fucking hate that shit.
If I do it, I'm like, I really wish I'd have just sent that in one message.
Well, it's fine when it's you.
It's a pet peeve. It's a pet peeve. So I can get away with it because I'm your partner.
Yeah.
But I understand that it's annoying, and I also kind of feel the same way where I'm like, why did you send me 15 messages when just send me one big paragraph? It's not like you ran out of characters.
Well, a lot of people, like, I do this as well sometimes when I'm texting you. I will be like, a second later, I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot to put that.
Yeah, but different.
I felt like they have done this to multiple authors before.
Yeah.
It felt very copy and paste because there were consistent typos. And I was like, first of all, like, I just looked at the contract for shits and giggles. Like, I would never, like, be like, oh yeah, here's this, like, Google Doc or Google Form
Yo, let me
contract.
sign those.
First of all, it didn't even have the like, ID sign or whatever.
The ID sign.
Like, when you go to do your lease, you click on...
the, like, where you can draw in your signature.
Yes.
Like the auto sign little things. Yeah.
It didn't have that, which is a red fucking flag. They wanted me to just type my fucking name in there. Yeah. Yeah, so I was just like, that's a red fucking flag. I'm not signing that. And then they continued to blow up my fucking phone until I had to block them.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
It's
like
why are you? It's like stalker level. If you're having to
sign your fucking contract. I'm not gonna type my name into your fucking Google Doc. Like,
yeah, it's exactly when you hit submit. That's when they're like, gotcha, bitch.
Like, the fuck? Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And I've read through their 45-page document.
Oh.
Right, and I've dealt with a lot of bookstores, right?
Yeah.
Most of them are like 10 pages max, and it's got like all the little fine print of like, if your book doesn't sell for whatever reason, like, we maintain the rights to sell the books back to you, or whatever.
But that's standard practice with most books.
Yes. Standard practice.
Unless you're J.K. Rowling or...
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is you've had your books on shelves for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
It's gonna stay on the shelf. They're not gonna send them back to you if they've been performing poorly for the past month.
Yeah.
More than likely, you'll make a TikTok or something, and someone's gonna come and buy it because, oh, they got it at Walmart.
Yeah.
So. Big yawn.
Yeah.
Big yawn. Billy and Gary looked at you.
I had the worst time sleeping last night.
Did you?
Yes, the dogs and the cat decided that they were going to play a game of push mommy off the bed.
Dang.
Yeah. And that's why I always say, like, first of all, we can never co-sleep because I move around too much.
Yeah.
When we have a child, we can never co-sleep because I fucking move around like an alligator doing a death roll.
Yes, you do.
So...
I'll wake up and you'll be rolled around in some blankets.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
yeah.
How did you get yourself in there?
Yeah. And sometimes when I wake up, I have to, like try to get my way out.
Yeah.
But the fucking dogs and the fucking cat, like, teamed up. They love to do this team-up shit against me.
They fucking love to do this team up shit against me. Where they have their little meeting and they reconvene and they're like, Mommy told us that we couldn't do this. Or, Mommy told us we couldn't shit in the house today. Like,
if we all do it, we can't all get in trouble.
yeah.
They do.
Like, they get in trouble so often. Mommy told us that we couldn't steal her shoes and chomp on them. Which Gary fucking did. He's never once eaten a pair of my fucking shoes.
You've had him for 5 years. You personally.
Yeah.
And he has never done that. I don't know what's up with this dude. He's just like, I'm gonna pick up a bad habit today.
Yes, and I think it's because he learns traits from Billy, and Billy learns traits from him. And all of this fucking bad shit that they do, I see him do shit. I see Billy do shit that Gary's fucking done that I've, like, nipped out of Gary. I do the fucking Caesar Milan from South Park.
You have to.
I pinch him in the neck. I go, no! Stop that!
And they learn pretty quick.
And they fucking know that it's wrong. And they do it anyway. They look to see if I'm looking at them. And I go, I look away. And they don't see my eyes fucking staring at them. And then they fucking do the bad thing.
And they
I'm
try
like,
it.
are you fucking kidding me?
Oh,
They, like, look around to see. And then they start to do it. And I'm, like, staring at them. I'm like, are you really fucking doing that right now?
Sometimes they're little jerks.
They are little fucking jerks.
But also, I love them.
Yeah.
I love their little bat boy personalities at the same time, because it's like, you know what? They got personality. Oh.
You don't speak up loud enough, and it's been a complaint. I had to delete a few comments.
It has not been a complaint.
You want to look at my phone right now?
No.
Travis left one.
No, he did not.
He sent me a text.
Oh, my lord.
Yeah, he said your volume's all over the place.
Tough.
No, I looked on Amazon, and I think I'm gonna get... There's this little, like... Is this called a dongle?
Yeah, it is a dongle.
So, there's one where it can connect to, like, 2.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna get you your own microphone.
The double dongle.
And the double dongle so it can connect in.
The double dongle Dutch.
It'd be like $20 for all of it. So
Oh, that's not bad.
yeah, I'll save up some money. So
I'll just wear the headphones for work, and I'll be like Britney Spears. I have the mic on my face. Yeah, or Shakira.
Shakira's cool, but Shakira,
my hips don't lie.
They're always dancing is the thing, so they like have to have that.
Yeah, they have the face mics. Yeah.
You know what I fucking hate?
Huh.
So I showed you a video of this.
People that have face mics that don't need face mics, like comedians.
Yeah. Matt Rife has started using a face mic.
Jesus Christ.
After he got canceled for like being gross with like women.
Yeah.
And he was like, I like blondes with huge fucking tits. And he was just being gross.
I mean, that's what happens when everyone ogles and goggles him. Then it opens him up for, well, I can specify who I want to talk to.
His girlfriend at the time was a brunette. And she was really hurt by what he said.
Yeah.
And he didn't even tell her, like, hey, I said this on this podcast. You're gonna hear it. I was just joking around, or blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't tell her that. So she was just out of the blue finding out that his type is the opposite of what she was. You know.
I think hair color is stupid to have preferences on.
Well, yeah, you think that because I change my hair color all the time.
No, I just think I've always thought that because it's like, it's fucking hair.
So what's your preference?
I don't care. That's my preference.
Your preference is me. That
Yeah.
was the right answer.
Yeah. No,
But-
I don't care because it's like, what's the difference between yellow, black, or blonde or brown?
Yellow, black,
Yellow.
or blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so anyway, he actually got canceled for being like, I hate that I have a mostly woman audience. But it was like, you're getting paid for that. And you know it. And every time you're like, ha ha ha, women. And you're making a lot of money from it. Like, you can't just sit here and be like, I want a man audience. You okay?
Yeah, it's like, okay, don't sell tickets.
Why did you set up a particularly, like, woman-based audience, then? Because you know what you're fucking doing.
What he did, well...
He was on Wild and Out, and he was all fucking fugly.
Yeah, fugly then, but, I mean, he still is fugly. He just...
Oh my god.
He just gained muscles. But,
Also had a lot of work done.
yeah. Well, that's the reason why everyone's like, ooh. It's
Yeah.
because he's actually, like, buff. I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know why they like him. Point is, you created this atmosphere of I'm gonna hit on y'all and I'm gonna talk to y'all. So obviously it's gonna be these thirsty women that want to come and get hit on and also listen to jokes.
Well, there's
So
nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm not saying there is anything wrong with that. But what I'm saying is that when you have curated your crowd to do only crowd work,
Yeah.
and they want to be hit on and talked with,
Yeah.
you're gonna get a lot of women. That's just the crowd you've curated.
It feels good to have an attractive man hit on you.
Exactly.
Whatever.
So it's not their fault that you curated this atmosphere.
If I wanted a mostly male audience,
You pick on the men.
I would write books with gross fucking smut where it's not, like, tasteful and it's, like, fetishizing lesbians and shit like that. That's how you get a male fucking audience. You know exactly what I mean. I've been on ACX recently, like, looking through the different titles, and there's nasty fucking ones written by male authors who are like, yeah, I fingered her pussy, and shit like that. And it's like, ew. Like, no one talks like that. No woman talks like that about another woman.
Yeah.
Especially not in a sapphic relationship. I've been in several. I have never turned around, gone to my guy friends, and this is not something that's wild and crazy to say. I've seen it multiple times in the last fucking week. In the last 7 days.
You're like, I don't know if I should audition for this, but
No.
I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, well, you look at it and it's like, it's marketed as like a lesbian romance. I'm like, oh, cool. First of all, red flag if it's written by a man, because they don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
You know, even, like, there's a difference. There's a very big difference. And even when
all I can think of is the South Park, where he's like, I don't understand where two women get together. Do they like kiss or scissor or something?
Do they scissor?
Do they scissor? Or
I've
something?
never once in like an sapphic relationship I've ever been in. First of all, like, and also I've had a lot of sapphic friends, so it's not like any one of them has turned around and been like, yeah, I went out and hung out with my guy friends, and I fingered her pussy so hard. Like, I have never met a sapphic woman who speaks like that about other women. Like, I've never in my life met a woman that speaks like that. And it's just for guys to get off. You know, there's a specific way that it's written that it's like, oh, you just want a guy to be jerking off to this. And all of the sapphic romances that I've read have been, like, written by women. That's, like, I'm not going to read a sapphic romance written by a man. But all of them that have been written by women are so tasteful and tactful. They're not, like, disgusting. And this wasn't marketed as erotica. It was marketed as just, like, general lesbian fiction. Because it's one thing to write erotica and label it as erotica. Okay, that's perfectly fine. But no way in hell is that just like a regular...
Just a regular relationship.
And sure, there are women who want to read stuff like that. And that's fine. But what the fuck, dude? Like, I haven't met very many.
Said, did you test read this before you put it out? Did you have anyone go over it?
And you can tell it's written by a man because it's like, she was so tight. And everyone knows. Everyone that's ever, like, actually cared about a woman that they're having sex with, everyone knows that, like, it's not supposed to hurt. It's supposed to be, like, it's supposed to feel good, but it's not supposed to hurt. And you shouldn't take pride in hurting a woman that you're having sex with. That's, no. And just not marketing it anyway, any kind of way like that. She was so tight and I fingered her fucking pussy. Like, you can tell it's fucking gross.
Yeah.
And
One
it's-
moment, though.
Okay.
Shout out. What's up, Dad?
He listened to the episode that I posted yesterday. I saw his view like 5 minutes after it was posted.
That's too funny.
Yeah, because I came over and then I was like, oh, it posted finally. Because I just like left my phone. And then I posted that, hey, it's posted. And he was like, I'm on it.
I'm watching it currently.
But yeah, like it was just gross.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like, even women who write erotica that's like that,
Yeah.
I've read a lot of like woman on woman erotica because I like reading it sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
I don't have
whatever.
to explain myself. Fuck
No,
you.
It's a book.
Yeah, it's a book. No one's getting fucking hurt about the book.
Yeah, right.
So I've read it, and it's never been like disgusting like that. It's always been like her
Nah.
kitty meowed. Like,
Well, here's my thing though. What about Quan Mills? Is his erotica tasteful? Some of it, or is it because it's supposed to be satire that you're like, he can get away with it?
I mean, the majority of the time, like, I've read a few of his books. I haven't read all of them.
Well, yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. A majority of the time, it's not really like that at all.
Oh,
Like,
really?
No. He'll talk about, like, we had sex, or I caught her having sex. Like, there's a few times where, like,
Oh, okay, so it's more of
she was slobbing on his knob, and I walked up to the door and I saw it. Like, it's
he,
from
like-
a different perspective.
Yeah, there's no, like, lesbian relationships that he's like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, and I'm still gonna write about it.
Like, you
It's,
can tell
you
that
know what
these-
you're talking about.
These male authors who write shit like that,
Yeah.
you can tell they're learning from, like, directed porn.
Yeah,
where
it's like, do you even have...
like, they're just screaming in pain and shit like that.
Yeah, you're like, do you know a lesbian in real life?
Yeah, like,
Have you ever met one other than in a pride parade?
Well, they think, like, scissoring is, like, actually taking scissors to a clit. Like,
Could... what do you do, like, scissor or something?
yeah, like, they don't know what it's like. And you know that they can tell where it's like, whatever, if somebody wants to make porn, that's their prerogative. But you can tell when porn is, like, amateur and the actors are enjoying what they're doing versus, I'm a porn star employed by this porn-producing company, and they want me to act wild. They want me to be screaming and howling in pleasure, you know.
How did we get here on this topic again?
Long-winded podcast.
Long-winded podcast, okay, cool.
But you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
You can tell. So it's like that sort of thing. And I prefer books written by women, just in general.
Yeah.
Like, I prefer music written by women as well. Like, just in general. You know? And it's always... knowing that it comes from a woman, it could be the same exact words that a man says, but knowing that it comes from a woman, it's like, okay. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Because y'all might come out of the woodworks and be like, there's XYZ title that's actually exactly like what you're describing, and it was written by a woman. Like, I don't know, but anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I was about to ask, what do you like to read, but I know you don't read.
Not comic books.
You said not a damn thing.
I do like reading comic books.
Yeah.
They're a lot easier to read than books.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Books give me headaches.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
The black and white.
What
It's-
if it was black
Nah,
page,
it's-
white ink?
It's too much.
Oh.
It's just, I get migraines from, like, just staring at pages of books, and then also my ADHD. I'll read something and comprehend it the first time, and then I'm like, what the fuck did I read? And then have to reread it several times, and I just get frustrated. Whereas with comic books, even if I read it and I'm like, what the fuck? It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna look at the art.
Do you like audiobooks?
Yes. But...
What's your favorite audiobook?
Oh, it was the Crash audiobook.
Yeah, speaking of, my book Crash, which follows the 4 survivors who are stranded on an island after their plane crashes, it has an audiobook. You know, these people who are fighting for their lives on this island.
And I apologize for not knowing the lady's name, but she is a very nice lady and has a phenomenal accent to read the book.
Lori Olivares is her name, and she is so fantastic. I love, first of all, she's already pumped out more audiobooks, which is insane.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's cool.
And I've listened to them, and they're amazing. They're amazing.
I like her dialect.
Yes.
Is it dialect?
I think so.
Yeah.
She's from Georgia, I think.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. So,
Twang. The twang that she puts onto it. I like it.
yeah. I love a southern accent. I love it.
Yes, because you can actually understand what she's saying. Whereas some southern accents, it's like, what the hell did I just hear?
What's your favorite southern accent?
My favorite southern accent?
Yeah. Like, what state? Well, we'll just go states.
Oh, I don't know about states, but I like Daniel Craig's ridiculous-ass accent for the Knives Out movies. That is the best one.
Really?
Yeah, only because it's so, like, you know what? Like, Foghorn Leghorn's accent. I like that one. The Georgia lawyer accent.
Okay.
And now, if you see here, Anna...
I love Georgia southern accents,
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina, and Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anna, if you see here, the defendant was not guilty.
I love a, like, southern accent. It's just great.
Yeah.
I love The Real Housewives of Atlanta, too.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I love that show. I'm pretty sure that one, I haven't watched it all. Like, I was watching it as it came out.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's the one where she's like, ooh, this baby needs to come up out of me. And they're, like, doing the math. They're like, aren't you 5 months pregnant? And then she goes, well, the doctor said the baby could come out. And then they're in the confessionals, and they're like, no doctor would ever say that. But she's just randomly at lunch, this baby needs to come up out of me.
Dude, Southerners always have something to say.
It's so funny.
They always got something funny to say. Even if it's not meant to be funny, it's gonna be funny.
It's gonna be fucking funny.
It's a combination of the accent,
Yes.
and then, like, I'm not saying, like, hillbilliness, but it's the, like, what the hell?
I love Southern-
They always got their own, like, mentality.
Well, it's like,
It's
I
like,
love, when I was growing up in Louisiana, when I lived with my dad,
Uh-huh.
I loved the one where it's like, it's raining. Oh, God's beating his wife.
What?
I never heard that anywhere else. But I'd be like, if God is so good, why the fuck is he beating his wife? Like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, is she crying?
Yeah, that's why it's raining.
Jesus.
And the thunder is the devil being mad.
He's mad that God's beating his wife?
Yeah, and then
He's like, what the fuck are you doing? That's for me!
I heard another one, and I think my stepsister told me this one, so when I lived in Louisiana. It was when it was sprinkling, she was like, oh, God's gotta pee. I was like, what the fuck?
So I'm just...
Why is God pissing?
I was gonna say, I'm pissing on everyone below me.
Uh-oh.
That is ridiculous. That's too funny, though.
But then you watch Disenchantment, and that's the God that does this shit. That's the God that beats his wife.
Disenchantment.
That's the one with The Simpsons on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
The same creator. I
Yes.
fucking love that show.
It's great.
Yeah. But he's all fucking pissed at Elfo, and he fucking says, he smites him. I fucking love
I haven't
Elfo.
watched that show in so long.
Yeah, I love that show.
Compared to Futurama, it's just as funny, but I prefer Futurama over it. Only because of the futuriness and not medievaliness.
I like the medievaliness over the futureness.
Well, I don't like the story for Disenchantment. Yeah. I don't like the steampunk story.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever they got to the steampunk and, like, Spoiler alert, but the show's been out for how many years?
I don't know.
Okay, once the mom gets revived and it's like the big bad villain, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't like the path that they chose from there.
I love Elfo.
Also,
I'm Elfo!
Also, the show is set up for a non-linear story.
Yeah. And it's so linear.
It's so linear. And I'm not about linear stories for cartoon shows like that. Like, American Dad doesn't have a linear story.
I was going to say, you know what my favorite cartoon ever is?
Family Guy doesn't have one. Cleveland Show doesn't have one.
You know what does have one?
Huh.
South Park.
South Park has started a linear story.
I love it.
But only after they stopped killing Kenny every episode.
Yeah.
And...
Hi, my name is Tweak. You killed Kenny, you bastard. I fucking love watching the Comic-Con, or I think it's Comic-Con, where, Trey and Matt Stone are there, and the South Park fans are like, hi, my name is Tweak, and, I want to know why you kill my friend Kenny.
That's funny.
They give them, like, the dirtiest looks, and they're like, it's a fucking show.
You said, that's cringe. I like that, like, they like their fans, but also it's like, you're cringy? Go.
Dude.
They also have, like, not the power, but, like, the coolness factor of, like, dude.
What the fuck?
Just be chill with me, like, I'm chill.
I know damn well your legal name is not Tweak.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guy. Like, be fucking for real. So we took acid on the Emmy carpet. Was it the Emmys?
I don't know.
It was one of those
I'll
shows.
fact check later
Yeah,
on.
it was one of those shows that they did acid and showed up in dresses for.
Yeah, they looked hot as fuck.
Yeah, but they were chill. They were just
Their
like,
eyes
yeah.
were all fucking like wide.
They were wearing sunglasses for some of it.
Yeah, for some of it, not all of it.
Yeah,
though.
when they got up on stage, they weren't.
Dude, it was so
It
funny.
was too funny. I think they accepted the award like that.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
I'll have to fact check
We'll
this.
see.
Uh-uh.
Said
I fucking love Tegrity Farms.
Tegrity Farms. I wish that they would start.
You gotta have Tegrity!
I wish they would start putting the episodes out like they're supposed to.
Oh.
Well, they're not.
Yeah, I can't actually talk about this because, like, all of my books are late. But you know what book didn't come out late? My book, Behind Open Eyes. It came out a day early. Crash also came out early, but Behind Open Eyes is the real important one here. Behind Open Eyes follows an investigative author named Charlotte Bardot. After she receives a mysterious letter from a local celebrity, she decides that she wants to investigate the contents of the letter. See, the man who wrote the letter included that he committed a lot of crimes against children when he was a teacher. So she goes to investigate everything that went on, and she interviews the victim, and she interviews everyone involved in this situation, and it really does show that life after grooming is very difficult. So if you're interested in that book, it is on Amazon.
No, but there's a difference between you and them. They have contracts with these giant companies, and they're supposed to be putting this out, and they're not doing their job. You are working. They are not putting out episodes. It's like... And if they were still doing it like cardstock or construction paper, like how they were, and they have to animate them,
I think it's
perfectly
so
fine within reason.
It's so funny when people were like, why is that this color? And they're like, because we ran out of that color in construction paper.
Yeah, that's so funny.
It's so fucking funny, dude.
Like, is it the picture of Cartman and his mom?
I don't know.
Well, their picture's yellow.
Oh.
The two of them, their skin tone's yellow on the painting.
That's funny.
On the background, but I think it's the same color as their walls.
Oh.
So I don't think they even put like cardboard for their faces. They just construction paper for them.
That's funny.
It is funny.
It is quite funny.
Oh, well, I guess that's why the boys have like the brightest palettes.
Yeah.
So that they just have that one color.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it's not like they're having to hand animate anymore, so it's like, yo, pump these episodes out.
Have you seen the end credits? They only have like 10 animators on the show.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like a huge production.
Well, it used to be that they would start production on Monday, and
okay, SNL.
They were doing the same shit as SNL, where they'd start production on Monday. By Wednesday, it's completed, and they're finalizing it by Friday and Saturday, and then it releases Sunday.
Do you know how awful that sounds?
It sounds terrible, but...
It sounds like they worked 25 fucking 8.
Yeah. But they don't have to do that anymore, because they're not hand animating.
Wouldn't you be... Come on, Resident Lazy. Like...
I get it. But it's when you're supposed to put out, I think their contract said that they had to have like 16 episodes or something like that.
Zip, you better fact check later.
I think, but and they put out like 8.
Yeah, I know they put out.
And then the other legal battle that they're doing is between Paramount and HBO, since one bought the other. I think.
Fact check.
I don't know. Point is that they're split up onto two things. Yeah. That's why their
specials come out on Paramount and their episodes come out on HBO.
Right. But with their timelines, it's supposed to be Paramount gets one and that HBO gets their season. Paramount gets one, HBO gets their season. But they've just been putting out special after special after special instead of doing episodes.
Dude, that's me as fuck. Putting out everything else besides what I'm supposed to be doing.
And I think HBO's like, yo, you're in breach of contract because you're supposed to be doing XYZ and you're doing this.
Dude, and that's why I can't be like tied down like that. I want to be an indie author forever.
They have a lot of eggs in a lot of baskets.
Yeah.
And they're making money. Yeah. But it's also like, yo, what are y'all doing?
I always want to be an indie author because I don't know, like I've seen a lot of people who are like trad published and it's just not the route I want to take. I want all the control for my books. I want to be able to like sell whatever rights I want to whomever I want to for movies, TV shows, what have you. I want to be able to make all of my royalties without having to split it or getting like 10 cents per book or something.
Yeah.
Like, no. Absolutely not. Because I did that for too long. I was like, I want to make as little as possible from each book because then people are really going to enjoy it and they're really going to see, like, that I worked so hard and that I'm pricing my books so low and now I make a little tiny quarter from each book. Instead of 10 cents, I make a quarter. So
nice.
Speaking of books and book sales, there is a sale going on between Amazon and I on the 31st of July to August 7th. All of my published ebooks are going to be 99 cents. So Crash that I told you about earlier, where the 4 survivors of a plane crash are trapped on an island. No matter what they do, they can't figure out how to get off. That book is going to be 99 cents, the ebook at least. And then my other books, The Axe Forgets If the Tree Remembers and Behind Open Eyes, are both going to be 99 cents. Now, you'll hear a little bit about The Axe Forgets If the Tree Remembers. I am going to do a little roll for that, and it's probably going to go somewhere when I'm talking about my mommy. And then Behind Open Eyes, you'll hear a little bit later on. You may hear more about the other 2 books that I have that are being published as well. I don't know. I'm not editing this yet, so... LOL. Get off your phone!
LOL. You were doing an ad read.
Get off your phone!
We're getting a music drop real quick.
Get off your phone!
When brains dance. Luval. You didn't have to mention me being on the phone. Ad read.
Yeah, I was doing an ad read and you got on your phone. You gotta pay attention for when I'm done.
Right.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about South Park.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's why you gotta pay attention.
Normally you bring up the next topic anyways, so...
Okay, what topics do you have?
I don't have any topics.
You really don't have any topics?
I don't think so.
My ass is sweating.
Your ass is sweating? Damn. That sucks.
Anyway, we don't want to be
putting out episodes, eight episodes a year. So, we'll be talking to you guys next week. Love you. Bye-bye.